Welcome back to Full Circle. How you're doing while you're tuned in from 111 That is our SMS line. Switch TV KU on Instagram, Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. Be part of the conversation. If you want to get into the Forex trade business, this conversation is for you. It's time for Business Circle. We have the CEO, Dilex Capital, Charles Ndirangu. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Uliniuliza kama unakaa pesa. Unakaa pesa. Money. We are having the money conversation. Okay. And I'm happy that we are having this because every time we talk about, businesses and how there are different opportunities everywhere, there's always a question about, Forex and how does it work? How do I get into it? So I'm happy you're here today.
Thank you for having me. It's simple. Starting Forex is very simple.
Is it?
It's very simple. Okay. Actually, probably if you've traveled outside country, you've participated in Forex without you knowing.
Yes.
Because it's the exchange of currencies.
Yes.
Like when you go to JKIA, as you fly out, you give you 1,000, you're given the dollars. That's Forex already.
Okay.
So what determines the strength of the currency that you're being given is how the country is being run. So you've practically done Forex. It's just that you've not you've not tapped into it correctly.
I think the business bit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sisi tunakusaidia wewe tukifanya hizi vitu.
Yeah.
Please tell us a bit more about Dilex Capital. How long has it been in existence? The founding of it. What drove you to get into this kind of business?
I actually started 2020. We're in the pandemic.
Yes.
I just graduated October 2019. So when the pandemic hit, I was like, okay, so people are not calling you for jobs since I did computer science anyway.
Yeah.
So there was nobody who was calling you. So I said, you know what? I have a skill that I was practicing when I was in campus, so I can tap into it.
What skill was that?
It was Forex actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just said, you know what? I called my girl and told her, let me dive into this. Then probably we'll see what will happen.
Okay.
So that's how Forex. So that's how Dilex Capital started.
How were you dealing in school? How was that? How did you get into that?
Actually, a couple of friends of mine, after I'm done with rugby, so I go to the...
Oh, you played rugby. Still, you're just throwing things around over here. Okay.
Yeah, but we don't say. We don't say. So
we're not loud about it.
Yeah. So after I come from rugby, then I meet people on my room had Wi-Fi. We had messed with it kidogo. So Wi-Fi was only in our room. So I used to meet a lot of people in my room and ask them, hey, you guys, what are you doing? So they started showing me, so this is Forex, this is how we earn, this is how we get our pocket money. And then I was so curious. So I sat with them. So they started taking me step by step. And by the time I was graduating, I was so good, they were the ones who were coming to me for advice.
Please tell us, how does it work?
Simply, you just open an account. Then with certified brokers, they are called brokers, who they link you now to the Forex market itself. So that's how you start trading. But how it really works is, let's say, for example, I'll give an example of Kenya. We are currently complaining about inflation. True. But do you know that plays a huge part in our Forex market? Because if you understand inflation and you understand interest rates, there's something we call the treasury bonds. If you look at the rate at which they are lending because inflation is just simply redistribution of wealth. Because I believe nothing has changed. Resources are not scarce for things to happen. Everything is as it is. But with the resources that are there, so you have to go back now to see the interest rates. So let's go back to the interest rates. Okay. Interest rates are simply, for example, Safaricom introduced a 20%. Is it a 20% tax on when you call? So they take 36 shillings for every 100 bob you put. So that lending money. So they are lending money to somebody else.
Okay.
If you keep your money in the bank, in a dollar account, overnight it gives you a charge of 1.4%. So if you open a dollar account, you're simply investing in Forex without you knowing, because the dollar keeps on gaining interest overnight. Like they have overnight carries. Sometimes when their US 10-year bonds mature enough, because the US government can never default on it, because they're the only country that actually prints money.
Okay.
So you can never lose money I believe you've heard the saying, never bet against America. Don't never bet against America. But that's a story for another day, because it's a long story to tell you in the little time that we have here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say open an account and get into the business, probably get to know these brokers, how much money do I need to start?
Okay, I'll tell you what I always tell everyone.
Yes.
Invest what you can't. If you lose, you can't. Haitakuuma.
Ulianza na ngapi, Charles?
Well, I started actually with 5,000 shillings. Then, since I didn't know how it worked correctly, and because I was greedy at the time, I didn't know how it happened, it went all of it. I never knew about risk management, because there is something like that. Because people say it's betting, but it's not betting if you have risk management. You need to have proper risk management. I give, in Deluxe Capital, we offer 3 months course, where we take you through everything that you need to know step by step. So there is risk management, which is very important.
Okay.
Before you dive into the market.
And
It's
a good place to start.
It's a very good place to. So risk management. So after that I learned. So what I did is I called on a few friends. I told them, you know what, you've seen this thing, it's working, you have tested the waters, so can you like lend me a little bit of money? So they gave me X amount of money, I won't mention.
Okay.
So after that we started growing, and I was aiming for 10% increase. Day in, day out. 10%. So if they give me 1,000 shillings, I was looking to earn 100 bob every day. And with that you withdraw, then you continue growing and growing slowly by slowly. It's the power of compound interest. I believe you've heard Warren Buffett say that.
Yeah, wait, let me tell you the amount of lines you're being given here today. But what are some of the qualifications for anybody who wants to get into it?
You don't need any qualifications.
What do you mean?
You don't need any qualifications. You don't need a degree to have to know about.
Not in terms of paperwork and stuff, but what some of the skills that you need for you to be able to be really good? What made you stand out from the rest? Because you mentioned that ulionyeshwa, but then after a while you became the master of it. They'd come to you.
One, risk management, always key. Number two, patience. Patience is the name of the game. Because like after this, I'm going to start analyzing. I trade from Tuesday to Thursday, but my preparation starts all the way from Saturday when the market closes. So you have to know if the vaccines are working correctly. Are the vaccines causing blood clots in the American markets? If that changes the market like this, or if Saudi Arabia says, you know what, today we're not feeling like giving you oil, so the oil prices will shoot up. So you have to know which currencies are going to be affected by such news. I just don't wake up in the morning, because I see a lot of people say, we're making money while you sleep. Talk to me nice.
That's what they say, but that's not true.
That's not true.
Yes.
You're just being lied to. Simply, you're just being lied to. There is a lot of work that goes into it. Sometimes when I was starting, I used to stare at my screen for almost 14 hours on end.
I see that in movies.
14 hours on end.
Yes.
You stare at your screen. Okay, then you see a pop-up. Let's say, for example, Nigeria says, there was an earthquake that we know maybe cut oil pipelines, or in Canada, the cold weather has made or run somewhere. Let's say, like, for example, in recent interview, in a recent news, there was ransomware that hit the US. It shut down all the major pipelines. So oil was scarce, and when people are scarce, and when oil is scarce, people now go in for the kill.
Yes.
There is blood. It's a bloodbath. So the oil prices shot up, and that's where people made money. That's where capitalism came into place during that time. So it's not just about sleeping, waking up, then say, you know what, let me follow a few things, do this, that. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it.
You need to be aware of how the other parts of the world are working.
Yeah.
Because they are affecting your business directly.
My friends were making fun of me and saying, I think you know the whole cabinet of US na ujui hata ya huku kwenu, because I was so focused in, outside there. Yes. What are these people doing? So you are very, like, let's say, for example, during the assassination of the Haitian president, President of Haiti, when he was assassinated. So I had to look, okay, so this is an emerging market, but yes, they are still in debt, so that will not affect the market in any way. So there will be no there will be no big shift of power.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, in Venezuela, do you know Venezuela is the largest oil producer in the world. You never know, but Saudi, you know about.
Yeah, I'm looking at you thinking, what?
Venezuela is actually the largest.
Oh, wow.
But they are hugely in debt.
Oh.
Hugely in debt. I
Okay.
think $1 there is like $1 million to them. It's like Zimbabwe money.
Yes.
If I may put it like that. So you need to know about all that. You need to know about, I'll give you for example, in Russia.
Yes.
When they said, now when they start going with the head to head with America, Vladimir says, you know what, our vaccine is better. This side, our vaccine is better. So they start having exportation wars. Who will get the vaccine to the people first?
Yes.
And the person who gets to the people to the vaccine first with little side effects, little to no side effects, is the vaccine that is going to be used. So which means investors will move their money from one market and take it to the Russian market, because if Russia's vaccine is good, it means people will go back to work, people will start spending more money,
yes.
and people will start borrowing money from the bank. The interest rates start, you see, we are coming back to the interest rate. The interest rates will go even higher because people are borrowing a lot of money. Interest rates will go higher. And if you put your money there,
yes.
then it means over a long period of time, it will grow.
Charles, what did you study?
Computer science.
Yes, that's what you say. Did you ever practice that, or you got into the world of Forex?
So actually, because I majored in cybersecurity and data analytics.
Okay. Yeah.
So a lot of data analytics
yes.
went into that.
Oh my goodness, you're really good at this.
Yeah, I'm really
so we have
good.
a couple of questions here for you. Hi Mukali, please ask Charles how much I need to delve into trading. I think I asked you that a bit earlier.
Invest what you are comfortable losing, as Warren Buffett says, simply.
If you have $1 million that's just lying loose,
yes, somewhere,
na utafeel uchungu ikipotea, go ahead and do that. Loving the show. This is Bruce from Baha. My question to Charles is, how can I become a broker and not just a trader?
You need a lot of regulations. You need to register your company. You need to go to the NSC. You get your own. It's a long process. I'm not looking to be a broker. I'm actually looking to be a hedge fund.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how can they do that?
You have to follow the regulations. I haven't done research on that,
okay,
because that's not my field. But they need to go to the NSE, Nairobi Securities Exchange.
Yes.
Then have a conversation with them on how to open their own brokerage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Question here. When do you know, when should you trade in Forex and when should you not trade?
Okay. Personally, I never trade on Monday and on Friday, because on Monday is when the market is deciding which direction to go.
Okay.
A lot of people are just woken up, so they are waiting for the markets to open. And on Friday is when the markets make their money, is when they now cash in on their profits. If you're on the wrong side, you're out. But if there is something, if there is an opportunity that you see,
yes,
go for it. If there is an opportunity somewhere, go for it. Never sleep on opportunity.
You work with the data that is available for you, and you also work with sort of like an instinct.
Never
or is it never instinct?
Instinct. Sometimes it's like, it's like playing yourself.
Okay.
It's like, it's like it becomes guesswork. When you use instinct, it becomes more of guesswork. So all your analysis, you just throw it off.
So let's work with the data all the way, every single time. Okay. What do you look out for when starting, or probably the knowledge you need for you to be comfortable enough to start Forex trading?
So the knowledge you need, okay. Come to my classes, I'll teach you. So that's simple. Because there is technical analysis, that's looking at charts, everything, Bollinger Bands, trend lines, all that. That's trading jargon. Then there is fundamental analysis, what we've been talking about. You need to know what the economy of the US is doing, what the Canadian economy is doing. Are their interest rates good? Are their bond yields good? How will that affect the prices of gold? How will that affect the prices of oil? How will that affect a lot of commodities? Did you know actually you can trade cocoa, coffee, soybeans, cotton, sugar? You can trade all that.
Oh my goodness.
You can trade all that. And I have the access, and I have access to that. You just talk to me nice in short.
Directly.
Yeah, talk to me direct. Don't go through the corners.
And have you ever, in your line of business, lost so much that you were like, I'm not so sure if I'm going to be able to pick myself up from this, but somehow you do?
Honestly speaking, that's what I said. You know, the first time when you lose money, because you enter in the, I lost money, then I was like, hey, huko ni wapi? Kwani niko nchi ingine? Kaangukiwa na melon.
Nilisikia ku.
Nilisikia ku. But
yes,
it's because I didn't know how it really works. I just entered. Niliingia tu hivyo.
Okay.
So I lost money. But with risk management, so I use a ratio of 3:1.
Okay.
I look to gain 3 times the money or lose just a third of the money. Simple. It's just
okay.
there is a lot of mathematics. So don't be fooled by ati ni kuingia tu.
Yeah, it's the good life.
Yeah, it's
Chill
a good life.
and money is made for you.
Actually, if you are on your social media,
yes,
there is somebody who lost 20.4 billion in 2 days. What makes you think that you're better than them? And they're seasoned investors, people
that
who've
doesn't
traded.
make you feel like, you know what, wacha niende nikauze ile melon.
But you know, if somebody loses, then there is somebody who got that money.
That's true.
That's somebody got that money.
Yes.
Somebody was smart enough to say, you know what, I'm going to short, or I'm going to go long on this particular opportunity, so that, you know, if somebody loses, somebody else gains. But you always have to be very alert to know which side you unaegemea side gani.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What would be your parting shot? Probably a word of advice for everybody who wants to get into this kind of business as we come to the end of this conversation.
Have patience, practice risk management, and finally, talk to me.
How do we talk to you, Charles?
So I have an Instagram page.
Okay.
My personal is Charles_senior_captain. Charles Senior Captain. And the ingine for now, the company is Deluxe with an AXE, AXE _Forex _capital.
Okay.
Yeah, just that.
If I want my classes, lessons, everything, when I find you there, then I'll be able to know the next step.
Yeah, you'll know the next step.
Okay.
Yeah.
Charles, thank you for educating us today. Venezuela, ulisema, biggest oil producing
country
in the world.
In the world.
But their debts.
That's why they have a lot of war. Because America wants to rush there, Russia wants to rush there to tap into oil. They have huge oil reserves.
Thank you. We've gotten to mesoma lakini, because mimi, among other things as well, I've been educated. We're going to take a very short commercial break. We will be right back, so don't go too far. Just thank you so much.